Hello guys, it's been a while since I made a video and since I've given an energetic update in what's going on, and a lot has been going on in energy, and I'm sure that you guys have noticed this, and I'm sure that you guys felt things come up and maybe you felt it even physically. But this has been going on for quite a while, since beginning of the summer. And I've been on vacation. Then when we came back with Anisha, it just kept going really. And so I just wanted to update you a little bit of what's going on and what we've been experiencing together. We've been doing the masculine and the feminine, the healing of it in ourselves, releasing old karma, pain, things from the bloodline, the mother and the father. And now we've come to the point where we are releasing trauma from the inner child. This is not only trauma from this lifetime, this is also trauma from past lifetimes. And this also causes us to feel separated from source. So what we really have is the fear of abandonment. Is also from the child. Personally, I felt the last few days fear of losing people, fear of being left behind, fear of dying alone. And this is something I've never had or did not know I had. It's not like I've lost people in my life. I can't say that I have. And now this is coming up very strong. And I felt myself, my inner child, shaking inside because of this fear of every time something new would happen or would come my way, I would get anxious because I would not know what the result of it be, of this new thing that was coming my way. Somehow my inner child always felt threatened with a new experience, because what if something would happen? What if I would lose something? What if I would be left alone? And all these, when you want to do something new but you're too afraid to do this because you think, oh my god, am I gonna make it? Am I gonna have enough money? Am I gonna survive? Am I, what's going to happen? And then you just stay in your comfort zone and you don't do anything at all. Well, I've noticed that this is the inner child that is afraid. It's afraid because it does not feel protected. And often many of us had parents that were either emotionally unavailable or some abusive, and some were even abandoned in some way. Maybe you don't know your mother or your father, or you were left with your grandparents, I don't know. This is all very traumatic for a child, because the mother and the father are the protection of the inner child, or the child in its own. And if you did not have it in this life, there is always a fear of being alone. And at the same time, there's a fear of losing people. So what happens is that you don't allow for people to come closer to you because you're afraid you might lose them again. The same with friendships, and this can also be reflected in your partnerships. Before, you might have wanted to feel that safety and that security in your partner, but because there's this huge trauma of the inner child in you, of being afraid of being left behind, you would not let your partner come closer, so there is a part of you that's shut off. And what I've also noticed is that this inner child felt numb. It felt paralyzed by fear of losing a loved one. So that part of us is shut off and could not feel. So what causes it can be that you feel anxiety, and I know many of us have anxiety. Anxiety is my middle name. I have it for the most ridiculous things, really. It just comes up. It's also from the moment that I feel that I'm not in control or that I don't know what's going on or what's going to happen, I get anxious. And it's my inner child, I noticed it. It's just afraid. It never felt that security and protection. And this is not something that is from this lifetime for me. This is something from very many past lives that I've come to experience. Because even when I was a child and I was 3 years old, I would say to my mom, "Oh, Mom, you know, I'm not gonna die, right?" I was 3. I'm not gonna die. I mean, a child that is 3 years old does not even know what death really means. And then I would comfort myself and I would say, "Oh, but it's okay. As long as you're alive, Mom, and as long as Daddy's here, it's all good. It's all good." And I remember saying that. I remember the feeling of being afraid of dying. This is something that goes back to past lives, but this is something that is also going through your bloodline. Think of your parents. Think of their parents. How were they treated? How was their love? Or was there the same feeling of not being heard, not being valued, not being allowed to speak their truth? All of those things, they are in our bloodline, so it's in our DNA. So it's not to say, okay, I've never experienced this as a child, that it doesn't mean it's in your cells and in your memories. So this particular memory of the wounded inner child goes very far back. It goes really to the beginning of creation of mankind. So what we're going through right now, and if you feel depressed, if you feel hopeless, if you feel tired inside, and if you feel a heaviness maybe in your chest, because it's a lot in the solar plexus also, where the power is, back pain, lower back pain. If you're feeling anywhere, headaches, I've had that too. It's all the old DNA coding, all the old traumas that are being released right now. So if you are going through it, if you're feeling this and you don't know what's going on, it's okay. Try to stay in the moment, breathe through it. Talk to yourself, talk to your body. Your body listens. It has cells that respond to your thoughts and to your voice. And you can express it. It's okay and it's safe to let go now. Safe to let go of the trauma, of the old coding, and that it's safe, that your inner child, it's safe. So we are basically restoring our connection to source right now. The feeling of separation, that loneliness, that abandonment, the fear of dying, the fear of losing anyone, the fear of being alone, unprotected, unsafe. The feeling of needing to survive also is a very big one in this. It's all from the inner child. So, but it's being released. Breathe through it. You're not alone in this. We're all doing this together. So stay grounded. Drink a lot of water. Rest, talk lovingly to yourself, be present, be in the moment, and know this is not you. This is ancestral coding, old coding, leaving, making its way out so that the new can come in, and so that we can, basically what we're missing is that pure connection to source and to feel safety of source, because we talk about the feminine and the masculine. The masculine is the protector, but the masculine is just a representation of source, of the protective energy of source, and this is what we're missing right now. So with this also, at the same time, the masculine also had that numb feeling, also had that paralyzed feeling, because the feminine has not seen him for so long, so he became dark and he became shut off in his heart space. he does not feel. It's like he could not feel. He had no connection to source. Either he lost it because he lost his connection to the feminine. This is also at the same time being worked on. So the masculine is awakening again. His heart is connection, his feeling to source, to his higher self. This masculine is in all of us as well. So it's not outside, like the men are experiencing this. No, we're all experiencing this. And as the inner child is healing, so can the masculine and the feminine merge together in a healthy, balanced way. Because it all starts with the inner child. It's the beginning of everything of the feminine and the masculine. So we're now really going to the core of it all and working our way through that so that we can feel the wholeness and the connection back with source, everything we long for, the happiness, the freedom. This is what we're striving for. So hang in there. Know that you're not alone in this. You can always share your feelings and your thoughts. I'm there to listen and to help you guys. And you're going to get through this. It's a promise that Spirit makes, so it will happen. I love you, and I will talk to you soon.